After turning 60, time feels different. It's no longer about chasing more, but about holding on to what matters: health, family, peace of mind. Yet for many seniors, reaching 85 feels like climbing a mountain that keeps getting steeper. Not because they don't want to live long, but because there are hidden traps along the path, silent and unnoticed, stealing years away. Today, let's walk slowly through these quiet dangers, and more importantly, how to step around them so that your later years can be strong, peaceful, and full of life. Let's begin. Hidden pitfall number one: ignoring minor symptoms. At first, it's barely noticeable. You feel a little more tired climbing the stairs. You catch yourself forgetting small things: where you put your glasses, what you meant to do next, a bit of indigestion that lingers longer than usual, a strange ache in your back that wasn't there before, and you tell yourself it's just old age. I'm just tired today. It'll pass. But here's the quiet truth many seniors overlook: the body whispers before it shouts. In our youth, small symptoms often faded on their own. We were resilient, our bodies bounce back easily. But after 60, after 70, the body doesn't rebound as quickly. Minor issues are often early warning signs of bigger problems developing under the surface. Ignoring them is like ignoring a small leak in the roof. At first, it's just a drip, barely noticeable. But over time, unnoticed and unattended, that tiny drip can rot the wood, weaken the beams, and one day, collapse the whole ceiling. One reason many seniors downplay their symptoms is pride. We grew up in a generation that valued toughness, resilience, walking it off. We were taught that complaining was a weakness, that good people quietly endured pain. But enduring silently today can cost you years tomorrow, because while you are bravely pushing through the discomfort, small health problems are gaining strength in the dark. What begins as mild fatigue could be a silent heart condition. A slight change in balance could be an early warning of nerve problems. Subtle memory lapses could be the first signs of treatable cognitive decline, if caught early. Another reason seniors ignore symptoms is fear. Fear of bad news. Fear of being told we need help. Fear that admitting something is wrong will mean losing independence. But here's something wise to remember: early detection is not a sentence, it's a second chance. Catching problems early often means they are easier to manage, easier to treat, easier to heal. Waiting too long closes doors that could have been left open. There is tremendous courage, not in ignoring symptoms, but in facing them head on with quiet dignity. So, how do we avoid this hidden pitfall? The answer is simple and powerful. Listen to your body, respect its messages. Act early, not late. If something feels off, don't wait. Talk to your doctor, schedule a checkup, ask questions, trust your instincts. Even if it turns out to be nothing serious, that peace of mind is worth everything. And if it turns out to be something important, you gave yourself the gift of time to address it. Think of your body like a beloved garden. Small weeds must be pulled quickly before they spread. Small plants need water before they wither. Care for yourself with that same tenderness, with attention, with respect, with the understanding that small problems, when handled early, can prevent great losses later. In the end, ignoring minor symptoms isn't just a risk to your health. It's a quiet way of saying, I'm not worth the trouble. And that could not be further from the truth. You are worth the checkup. You are worth the careful attention. You are worth every step it takes to stay strong, stay vibrant, stay alive, because the world still needs your stories, your wisdom, your laughter, your quiet presence. And by listening to the small whispers of your body, you give yourself the greatest chance to walk even farther down this beautiful road of life. Hidden pitfall number two: falling into isolation. At first, it happens so quietly you barely notice. A friend moves away. A neighbor you used to chat with every morning no longer comes outside. Family gets busy. Children have their own lives. Grandchildren grow up. Schedules get tighter. Little by little, the phone rings less often. The days feel longer. The silence grows heavier. And without even realizing it, you find yourself spending more time alone than you ever intended. We often think of loneliness as just a feeling, something emotional, something we can tough out. But science tells a deeper, sadder story. Chronic loneliness affects the body as much as physical illness. It raises blood pressure, it weakens the immune system, it increases the risk of heart disease, dementia, depression, even early death. In fact, some studies show that prolonged isolation shortens lifespan as much as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. Imagine that. Loneliness can be as deadly as smoking heavily for decades. And the cruel part is, it doesn't happen with one big event. It happens with a slow, steady drift away from others. One missed call, one skipped gathering, one quiet evening turning into months of quiet. Why do so many seniors fall into isolation? Part of it is practical. As we age, it's harder to drive, harder to move around. Health issues make socializing more complicated. But part of it is emotional too. There's a deep fear many seniors carry. I don't want to burden anyone. I don't want to seem needy. They have their own lives. They don't need me bothering them. So instead of reaching out, we retreat. We stay silent. We make ourselves smaller. We convince ourselves it's better to be alone than to risk being rejected or pitied. But the truth is, human beings are not meant to live in isolation. At every age, we need connection like we need air and water. We need to be seen. We need to be heard. We need to be remembered. How do we avoid this hidden pitfall? Like, it begins with intention, choosing connection, even when it feels awkward or hard. Reach out first. Don't wait for others to remember you. Call an old friend, send a simple message, invite someone for coffee, even if it feels bold. Find small ways to belong. Join a walking group, volunteer once a week, attend a community class or a church gathering. Even being around others, even without deep conversation, nourishes the spirit. Allow yourself to be seen. It's okay to say, I miss company. I would love a visit. Let's get together. There's courage, not weakness, in asking for connection. If physical distance makes meeting people hard, technology can be a bridge. Learn to use video calls. Join online groups for seniors. Share photos with distant family members. The world is smaller now, and even a few warm moments online can brighten a day. Most importantly, remember, you are not forgotten. You are not invisible. You are not a burden. You are a living memory, a living treasure, and your presence still matters more than you know. In the quiet evenings when loneliness creeps in, whisper gently to yourself, I am still here. I am still worthy of love, of laughter, of belonging, because you are. And by choosing connection, even one small step at a time, you give yourself not just more years, but richer, fuller years. The kind of life you deserve, the kind of life still waiting for you. Just around the next corner, in the next hello, in the next smile, shared across a simple, ordinary morning. Hidden pitfall number 3, trusting outdated health habits. When we find something that worked for us once, it's only natural to hold on to it. It becomes familiar, comfortable, like an old sweater that's been worn in just right. For many seniors, their daily habits, what they eat, how they move, how they rest, were built decades ago, back when bodies were younger, back when recovery was quicker, back when the needs of the body were different. But here's a gentle truth we often overlook. The body after 60, 70, or 80 is not the same body we had at 30 or 40. Its rhythms have changed. Its resilience has softened. Its whispers for care have grown quieter, but more urgent. Take nutrition, for example. Years ago, skipping breakfast, drinking endless cups of coffee, grabbing a quick processed meal, it didn't seem to matter. The body adapted. Energy stayed high. Recovery was fast. But today, that same high sodium, low fiber processed food can quietly strain the heart, stress the kidneys, inflame the joints. What once was harmless can now quietly erode health over time. Or consider exercise. In youth, exercise often meant pushing hard, running fast, lifting heavy, sweating buckets. Pain was seen as a sign of progress. But after 60, the body speaks a different language. It no longer thrives under punishment. It flourishes with gentle strength, balance work, flexibility. Pushing too hard now can mean injury, not improvement. Neglecting movement altogether, fearing injury, can be just as harmful, leading to weakness, loss of independence. Movement after 60 is not about conquering, it's about preserving, supporting, strengthening from the inside out. Sleep is another example. Once we could stay up late, get 5 hours of rest, and power through the day. Now, poor sleep quietly chips away at memory, mood, immune function. Yet many seniors still brush off restless nights thinking it's normal. But deep restorative sleep isn't a luxury. It's essential medicine for aging well. Why do we cling to outdated habits? Part of it is habit itself, the comfort of the familiar. Part of it is pride. I've done it this way all my life. Why change now? And part of it is fear. Fear that changing means admitting weakness. Fear that the world has moved on without us. But here's the gentle truth. Updating your habits is not admitting failure. It's honoring the wise, beautiful body that has carried you this far. It's not about abandoning who you were. It's about evolving with who you are now. How can we avoid this hidden pitfall? Stay curious about your health. What served you well at 40 may not serve you at 70. Learn, ask, adjust. Work with professionals who understand senior health. Find doctors, physical therapists, nutritionists who specialize in aging bodies. Treat your body like a living garden. Tend to it with gentleness. Adapt your care with each passing season. Listen, without judgment, to your body's new needs. If salt needs to be lowered, if walking needs to replace running, if naps are needed, accept it as wisdom, not loss. In the end, aging well isn't about stubbornly clinging to the past. It's about walking forward with grace, with open hands, with a heart willing to grow. Because you are not the same as you once were. You are wiser, softer, deeper. And by updating your habits with kindness and attention, you honor not just your body, but your entire beautiful journey through life. Hidden pitfall number 4, underestimating small falls. It happens so quickly. A missed step on the porch, a slippery patch in the bathroom, a slight stumble over a rug edge. You catch yourself. Maybe you even laugh it off. I'm fine. Just a little trip, nothing to worry about. But beneath that small stumble, something deeper may have shifted. Because after 60, after 70, falls are no longer harmless accidents. They are a leading cause of hospitalizations, long recoveries, loss of independence, and too often they mark the beginning of a slow, heartbreaking decline. When we were young, a fall meant a scraped knee, a bruised ego. But as we age, our bones grow thinner, our muscles lose strength, our balance becomes more delicate. A fall can lead to a fractured hip, a broken wrist, a head injury. And these injuries, even when treated, often trigger a domino effect: hospital stays, surgeries, long periods of bed rest followed by weakness, fear of falling again, loss of confidence. What once was a minor event can become a turning point, one that changes life's path entirely. Why do so many seniors underestimate small falls? Because pride is strong, because we don't want to appear fragile, because admitting a fall feels like admitting defeat. But here's the truth whispered by wisdom. Acknowledging vulnerability is not weakness, it is strength. It is the wisdom to protect the body you have spent decades building. It is the love to safeguard the years you have yet to live. Ignoring a stumble, pretending it didn't happen, robs you of the chance to fix the small problem before it becomes a big one. How can we avoid this hidden pitfall? Treat every stumble seriously. Not with panic, but with attention. Ask, why did I fall? Was it a slippery surface, poor lighting, weak legs, balance problems? Strengthen your body daily. Balance and strength training aren't just for athletes. They are survival skills after 60. Simple exercises, standing on one foot, gentle squats, heel-to-toe walks can rebuild stability. Fall-proof your environment. Remove loose rugs, install grab bars in bathrooms. Keep hallways clear. Ensure good lighting everywhere. Your home should not be a place of hidden traps. It should be a haven, safe, supportive, welcoming. Use assistive devices with pride, not shame. A cane, a walker, sturdy shoes, these are not signs of weakness. They are tools of wisdom, dignity, and self-preservation. Better to lean lightly today than to fall heavily tomorrow. Most importantly, shift how you see yourself. You are not old and fragile. You are wise and resilient. You are learning to care for your body with the same attentiveness and respect you would give a beloved friend. In the quiet moments when you feel a stumble and are tempted to brush it off, pause. Put a gentle hand on your chest and remind yourself, I am worth protecting. I am worth caring for. Because you are. Your years ahead are precious. Your presence matters, not just to yourself, but to the people who love you. And every small step you take to stay steady, to stay upright, to stay strong, is a quiet act of courage. The kind of courage that keeps you walking forward, not just toward 85, but toward many more sunrises, many more memories, many more days, lived fully and freely. Hidden pitfall number 5, carrying old grudges and regrets. There are wounds we cannot see, but we carry them anyway. A harsh word spoken years ago, a betrayal from someone we trusted, a door that closed when we were hoping it would open, a decision we made or didn't make that still haunts our quiet moments. We tell ourselves we've moved on. We tell ourselves it doesn't matter anymore. But inside, in the stillness of the heart, these old pains whisper. And if we are not careful, they grow heavier with each passing year, weighing down the spirit, dimming the joy of today, stealing health in ways we don't even realize. Research now shows that chronic anger, resentment, and deep regret are not just emotional burdens. They physically impact the body. They raise stress hormones. They inflame the blood vessels. They weaken the immune system. They wear down the heart, both the one that beats in our chest and the one that dreams inside us. Holding on to old grudges is like carrying a heavy stone wherever you go. It doesn't punish the person who hurt you. It punishes you. It exhausts you. It closes you off from new joys, new relationships, new beginnings. Why do we hold on to these old wounds? Because part of us believes if I let it go, it means it didn't matter. If I forgive, it means I accept what happened. If I move on, it means they won. But here's the deeper truth, whispered not from pride, but from wisdom. Forgiveness is not for them, it's for you. Letting go is not forgetting the pain, it's choosing not to live inside it anymore. It's honoring your life enough to not chain your heart to old injuries. It's realizing that you deserve peace, not as a reward for suffering, but as a right of your existence. How can we avoid this hidden pitfall? Acknowledge the hurt honestly. Pretending it didn't happen only buries it deeper. Name the pain. Speak it, even if just to yourself. Honor that it mattered. Choose freedom over bitterness. Ask yourself, is this grudge worth the days, the hours, the energy it continues to steal? Bitterness is a debt that keeps charging interest. Forgiveness, even silent forgiveness, cancels that debt. Forgive without expectation. You don't have to reconcile. You don't have to invite hurt back into your life. You simply have to unclench your own heart. Let it be light again. Forgive yourself too, for choices you wish you had made differently, for mistakes you regret. You were doing the best you could at the time with what you knew, with who you were. Growth often looks like gentleness, not harsh judgment. Picture an old tree in winter. Its branches are bare, the dead leaves have fallen, not because the tree is weak, but because it is preparing for new life. You too must let the old burdens fall away, not because the past didn't matter, but because your future matters more. In the quiet moments, place a hand over your heart and whisper, I am allowed to heal. I am allowed to live free. I am allowed to choose peace over pain, because you are. And by releasing what no longer serves you, you open space for beauty, laughter, connection to fill your life once more. Hidden pitfall number 6, believing it's too late. Among all the silent dangers that steal away the golden years, this one is perhaps the most heartbreaking. The quiet belief that it's too late to start walking every morning, too late to reconnect with an old friend, too late to learn something new, too late to heal old wounds, to build new dreams, to change the course of a life. This thought settles slowly, like dust on a forgotten shelf. At first, it's barely noticeable, but over time, it dulls the spirit, dims hope, and locks the heart inside invisible walls. The danger of believing it's too late is not just emotional, it becomes physical too. When we think it's too late to change, we stop trying, we stop moving, we stop reaching out, we stop dreaming. The body, sensing this stillness, begins to shrink. The mind, sensing this hopelessness, begins to slow. The soul, sensing this resignation, grows heavy with sadness. And so life quietly contracts, not because of age, but because of belief. But here's the quiet, powerful truth. It is never too late. The body responds to care at any age. The heart softens with kindness at any age. The spirit awakens with hope at any age. Your cells are still renewing themselves today. Your brain can still create new pathways today. Your story can still change, starting today. Think of a field lying barren after winter. At first glance, it looks lifeless, empty, finished. But deep under the soil, life is stirring. Seeds lie hidden, waiting for warmth. Roots are quietly gathering strength. And when spring comes, the whole field can bloom again. Not because it was forced, but because life was simply waiting for the right moment. You too hold seeds inside you, seeds of strength, seeds of joy, seeds of possibility, waiting patiently for you to believe in them again. How can we avoid this hidden pitfall? Challenge the voice that says too late. When you hear it, pause and ask, says who? Why not now? The greatest enemy of growth after 60 is not the body, it's the belief that growth is no longer possible. Start small. You don't need to overhaul your life overnight. One 5-minute walk, one healthier meal, one phone call to someone you miss, one new hobby explored with childlike curiosity. Small beginnings lead to great transformations. Surround yourself with reminders of possibility. Stories of people who learned to dance at 80, artists who found their voice in their 70s, friendships that blossomed after decades apart. Life doesn't end with age, it deepens. In the quiet moments when you feel the heavy thought creeping in, it's too late. Place a hand gently over your heart and whisper, I am still becoming. I am still growing. I am still alive, and where there is life, there is hope. Because you are, and your best chapters may not be behind you. They may be just beginning, if you are willing to turn the page. Reaching 85 isn't just about luck. It isn't about strong genes alone. And it certainly isn't about denying the reality of aging. It's about how we walk through each day, quietly, carefully, wisely. It's about paying attention to the small whispers of our bodies, choosing connection when loneliness knocks, updating our habits as lovingly as we care for a cherished home, respecting the warnings hidden in a stumble, letting go of old wounds that weigh the heart down, and most of all, believing deeply and truly that it is never too late to begin again. Every sunrise you see, every small act of care you offer yourself, every gentle change you embrace, it all adds up. It adds up to a life that doesn't just last longer, but feels fuller, richer, more peaceful. Because after all the years, all the joys, and all the heartaches, you deserve a future that is not filled with fear, but with hope, with meaning, with a quiet, enduring strength that only those who have lived fully can carry. Which of these 6 hidden pitfalls surprised you the most? And what small promise will you make to yourself starting today? Like this video if it gave you hope, wisdom, or a gentle reminder that your journey still matters. Subscribe to True Senior Wisdom for more weekly reflections on living longer, living stronger, and living with heart. Because you are not fading away. You are deepening. You are ripening. You are still writing your story. And the best pages may still be ahead.